Okay, hey guys, Wilk here, and I wanted this is really not going to be a proper review, but it's a review nonetheless, and I just needed to get something up because, as you know, this is almost a legendary bike in terms of wow, it's raining really hard out. Hopefully you can hear me, but this is the Cake Osa Lite by Cake. They make a couple bikes, actually a few bikes at this point. The Osa Lite is their newest bike. They make the Cake Osa Lite, which this is. They make a couple other bikes called the Chalk or the Chalk. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce them, but it's a Swedish company, and they're right now exporting all of their bikes to Utah, and then they ship out from Utah, and there'll likely be a few other distribution centers in the future. But I'm in love with this thing, and it's been less than 24 hours. What's to say about it? It feels like a bike that is just from the future. I mean, look at it. One of my favorite movies ever is Oblivion, and I feel like this bike was built as a movie prop that actually works and functions really well. So some details about it: 142 pounds. I think 42 Newton meters of torque. It's supposed to go only 30 miles per hour. They're incredibly modest with every spec, every detail. And I was getting up to about 46 miles per hour with, again, this is the low end of their Osa lineup. It's rated at like 40 miles on a charge with this battery. They make a bigger battery that you can throw in there. I think this would actually get up to 60 miles based upon how I was riding yesterday. And so that would vary obviously greatly depending on your weight, how fast you're going, what like hills you have around your house. But I'm in love with this bike, and I got this bike because I had a Super 73 before, which was great. But I just was struggling up hills. And I know they make a couple newer bikes now that are a little bit more torquey, but it certainly doesn't compete with this. And so I think this is just on a whole nother level, so well built. I can't say this enough. I think we're dealing with a lot of steel, a bit of steel here in the down tube in the frame, a lot of really high grade aluminum in places where you don't need necessarily all the strength, but you want it to be still relatively light. This is a pretty polarizing feature. So I was out last night riding, and people were just like, what is this thing? It looks like it's from outer space. And I agree. But this is where you would latch all of your accessories to. I have one coming in the mail, a second seat, but they make a whole range of other accessories that will fit this utility bar essentially. But everything latches down with these really well machined aluminum latches. So you have one for the seat, you have one for the light here. I'm sure all their other accessories tie down in the same way. Front and rear suspension. Disc brakes front and back as well. It's belt driven, which is awesome. So it's pretty silent. I don't think I've worn the thing in, and so there's a little bit of belt whine right now, which may subside in a couple weeks once I put a few more miles on it. But ultimately, it's way quieter than any dirt bike for sure. Gas powered, ice powered motorbike. It's driven by this 10 kilowatt hub motor, which sits externally. It's not in the wheel like some other electric bikes. So it's beefy, and it powers this bike really, really well. But what else to say? I mean, it just looks so freaking cool. I'll turn it on real quick here, which is fun. So what you do is you hit this button here, the power button, and then you flip the ignition switch, hold down a third power button, and then by default, the pin is 1, 2, 3. You can change that. But look at that. Is that rad? Just looks like something out of the 80s. Makes this cool like chime sound when you're on your kickstand and you're just chilling. And here's another thing I like. When you turn the handlebars, the headlight stays stationary because it's actually bolted to this frame and not the handlebars or the, yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was really rad. But it's a proper like moped, motorcycle. It has like left and right turn signals, horn, headlights, pretty good headlight. Get off the bike and look at that. Yeah. Again, I can't wait to get this out on the road and do like a proper review, but I just wanted to give you guys a little hint of what the Osa Lite looks like, what it's all about. And again, when it's not raining out, I'll do a proper review. So